Hello everyone. I think today is our 10th week. 10th week. So we have from now on 5 more weeks to go, and I think we have to decide when are we going to have an end term exam. But the problem is that the situation in Korea for the corona epidemic was okay until last week, but during the weekend, something happening in Itaewon area, and suddenly the situation is getting worse. So I'm not sure whether we can actually have an offline meeting for the end term exam. It is not really sure. So today, in the university level, we have a discussion about how to deal with this kind of problem, especially end term exam, and we couldn't decide because there are so many different opinions, and also giving the evaluation, before this corona epidemic, we have a kind of a relative evaluation. So 30% of students can get A, another 20% can get B, and so on. But now we can have a totally free. So I can give all student A, or all student B, or all student B, up to the lecturer. But university wants to give some kind of guideline so that some student do not have any disadvantage because of the lecture some student choose. So there are many things going on. So the conclusion for today's meeting is that everything will be decided in 2 weeks' time, not now, not now. So at the moment, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether we can actually have an end term exam or not. So if we can't have an end term exam, then I will find out other way, some other way we can actually do it. So that I can give you evaluation. So let me think about that. But if we can have an end term exam, it must be a week before the last week. So I think if we are going to have an end term exam, it is going to be 17th of June. Where is a notepad? Let's think about 17th of June for end term exam. 17th June end term exam. So date for end term exam, you should remember it is going to be 17th of June. Is going to be end term exam, and I will think about that. Whether are we going to have this end term exam face to face or have an end term exam online? I will think about that. Some of my colleagues succeeded in taking midterm exam online, so I learned from him how to do it. So let me think about it. But we can fix the date, 17th of June. So any objection? Everyone agree? Are you all agree for the date, 17th of June? If you all agree, I will decide this. Yeah, 17th of June, you should remember. And today I'm going to continue. And today I'm going to talk about Vipassana. Meditation. So nowadays in America, there are many people do some kind of meditation service under the name of Healing. Have you heard about healing? Some of my friends in LA give a consultation under the name Vipassana healing, Vipassana healing, and he charge almost $200 per hour. So he earned the money a lot. I'm not sure whether he can continue on this COVID-19 epidemic on this consulting, but healing is a kind of a word very popular among many Western countries where they use Buddhist meditation as a tools to heal the stress we can get in this rapid changing society. So people enjoy this kind of a healing service. And this kind of healing actually have their origin in Vipassana meditation and Vipassana meditation. And the Vipassana on your handout, I usually apply it into the category the way of wisdom. The way of wisdom. I usually put it in the way of wisdom. The way of wisdom. So, or knowledge. Or knowledge. The knowledge or wisdom, that's very important in Vipassana. So today I'm going to talk mainly about Vipassana meditation. So do you remember the power of knowledge? Do you remember power of knowledge I've said to you last week? Someone entered into the dark room and saw the snake, from the other side, and he become frightened and agitated, and he become sweat and everything. But when his eye become bigger and bigger, and he can clearly see what it is, and he realized that what he saw as a snake was actually rope, not the snake. So the knowledge of rope solve everything. He is free from all the stress. He is free from sweat. He is free from mental agitation and everything. So that's the power of knowledge. Power of knowledge. So early Buddhism put heavy weight on the knowledge. The knowledge is the key for your salvation. Knowledge is the key for solving your problem. Knowledge is the key you should know and you should train. So one of the way you can use knowledge in terms of the meditation, it was called Vipassana. So people may wonder what kind of knowledge Buddhist text talk about. And I said to my student, then it was triple knowledge of phenomenal world. To triple knowledge of phenomenal world. That's the knowledge required for the Vipassana. And it's anicca, dukkha, anatta. So exact meaning, I have to say anicca, nothing lasts forever. So anything cannot last forever, eventually give us pain. For example, when young people, men and women met together and they fall in love each other. So everyone thought our love will last forever. But in the world, we cannot see that kind of endless love. Everything changed. So sooner or later, one of them changed their mind, and that kind of a change gave another person full of misery. So anything cannot last forever, will eventually give a pain to someone. So that we usually call it as dukkha, suffering. or unsatisfactoriness. So in the world we are living, there are pool of things which cannot last forever, and the most of them eventually give us pain. So in the world we cannot say there are things belongs to me. Belongs to me. Things belong to me. That's the meaning of Anata in the early canon. There are things belongs to me. We cannot say, we easily thought many things belongs to me. So mobile phone, for example, everyone think it belongs to me, but it belongs to you as far as you took it. As far as the software of this mobile phone is not outdated, it belongs to you. But sooner or later, the software become very old, and the batteries and everything, outdated, and you cannot use it. So in terms of kind of a longer perspective, that cannot belongs to you. My hair used to be very dark, but nowadays I have a white hair all over my head. So I still remember when I was 20, I have a dark hair, and I miss my dark hair. So I tended to believe that dark hair belongs to me. But now I realize that that doesn't belong to me. That's the meaning of Anata in the early Buddhist canon. So how to use this kind of knowledge in the early Buddhism is a very interesting. It's very interesting. Let me show you some of the photo. Meditation. This one. This is the door of underground in Hong Kong. Have you been to Hong Kong? Hong Kong underground has got English as well as Chinese, maybe Cantonese. But here you can see, please mind the gap. Please mind the gap. You can see here. Please mind the gap. So this mind, meaning remember. This mind meaning remember. I was living in UK for 6 years when I did my PhD, and sometimes I go to London. And the city of London developed its underground system. Underground, I mean subway. Metro in America, but it's very old. Some subway line almost 100-year old. Some subway line 120 and so on. So in the old days, even the subway, the platform is the place where we are waiting for the train coming, and when train coming, we are entering into the subway. So nowadays it's all flat, parallel, and there is no gap, hardly any gap between platform and the train. But in the old days in UK, when they built, there are a round platform. For example, if you go to Piccadilly Circus, one of the subway station in the center of London is quite old. So it has this kind of round platform. So this is a train, but this kind of round platform, it is not easy to make no gap between the train and platform. So sometimes from the train to platform, there is a huge gap. There is a huge gap here. Even the children can go down. So Hong Kong subway, following UK system. So they put it here. Please mind the gap, which means you should remember there is a gap between platform and the train. If you can't remember, you are, you're in trouble. You cannot safely land the platform. You will be in between train and platform. You will be in danger. So you can see here there is a gap. There is a gap. If you go to London, it's a huge gap. Sometimes you should jump. So I still remember when I was in London, in the Piccadilly line or some old London underground when I was standing there. Very beautiful voice, female voice, keep repeating, please mind the gap. Please mind the gap again and again and again, so that we can remember. So this remember, according to early Buddhism, it's just sati in Pali, and in Sanskrit, smriti. Basic meaning, to remember. That's the basic meaning. To remember. But in the world we are living in, we easily forget this triple nature of a phenomenal world. So if we easily forget nothing lasts forever, so we assume I myself will continue. I will perpetually exist. So easily believe I'm the one invincible. I will continue even my body destroy. I'm continue. Something like that. Easily we made up our theory that I or Atman, Aham or Atman last forever. We can easily do that, So in Buddhism, according to the Vipassana meditation, we shouldn't forget, this one. Nothing lasts forever. Even you cannot last forever. But if we just didn't remember some time, we can easily made up. I'm the one who is lasting forever, so that we can easily mislead to other things. Suffering as well. If we just forget, we can easily feel my happiness will last forever. We can easily feel. So, for example, yesterday, Lotte Giants. I'm the big fan of Korean pro baseball, and my birthplace is Busan. So Busan is the base of Lotte Giants, and the last year our team ranked 10 out of the 10, so one of the bottom team. And yesterday we win over another game, so we become the number 1 in ranking. So if I cannot remember this one, dukkha, I can easily thought, this year Lotte Giants will be invincible. This Lotte Giants will give me happiness forever, So I can easily assume the world is full of happiness, something like that. We can easily do it if we cannot, if we forget about this. So if we easily thought the world is full of happiness, something like that, we can easily do that. But happiness eventually give you pain, in every occasion, and so on. And in both cases, we tend to thought myself most important. We can easily think something like that. Myself, the most important thing. We can easily think like that. So remember is very important. So in early Buddhism, this remember linked with the establishment. So sati Satipatthana means establishment of remembering in every moment of your life. In every moment of your life, that's the Satipatthana. In every moment of your life, you remember, nothing lasts forever. The world full of suffering, and thus there are nothing I can say which belongs to me. So if you remember every moment of your life on that, you establish Satipatthana. So when I was living in Bangkok, I have a monk friend who is from Myanmar, and he always show me this photo. If you go to a Vipassana meditation center, they tend to give you some brochure to explain what is Vipassana and so on. And this one is his most important tool to use it. And I was there for 3 months to practice Vipassana, and my wife sometimes said to me, "You look very happy person. You look very nice nowadays." So I said to my wife that I'm practicing Vipassana. Anything happen, I change it to the happy mind, something like that. But anyway, this is the one my Burmese monk friend usually show me when explain Vipassana meditation. So this one has got two sides. One side from the ordinary eye, this side from the Vipassana eye. From the insight of Vipassana, the world is like this. From the ordinary eye, the world is like this. So here, there is some kind of a festival where people enjoy dancing, music, and everyone looks very happy. So we can easily thought this kind of happiness lasts forever. And this kind of festival will give us happiness. and this kind of happiness belongs to me. That's our normal, condition. But with the insight of Vipassana, we knew, even though they look very happy, they will even eventually die. So skeleton, you can see there, even though they look very happy, it's not true, and the happiness they brought cannot last forever, because people who enjoy there cannot last forever. So that kind of happiness cannot belong to me. So that's the eye of Vipassana. So in every moment of your life, you saw things in this way. You are step by step, disinterested from the outside object, and even object occur inside of you with this kind of insight be with you in every moment of your life. Step by step, you lose interest in that kind of object. So if you are losing interest in every kind of object you are going to be attracted, you are actually, you can say, I'm free from all the affection and so on. And if you no longer have any affection or desire for the object outside or object inside of your head, you can say, I'm free of any desire, free of any attachment. That's the kind of a state early Buddhists aiming at. If you are really sure, you are definitely free from everything. Every object you might be interested, attached, you are defiled, you are totally free, you can declare, I'm the Arhat. So with the knowledge of, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, you can actually free from all kind of object, desiring. So that's the Beijing method of Vipassana meditation, as far as we can see in the early canon. So this is early canon. Early canon. But the problem for the Vipassana meditation in early canon is that it's not really clear. Not really clear. Not really clear. And the Vipassana technique explained in the early canon is different from current Vipassana meditation in southern Buddhist world. So it is different from the current Vipassana meditation practiced in the southern Buddhist world. So Myanmar or Thailand or Sri Lanka or Nepal, if you go there are many Vipassana teachers. What they are teaching based on early canon, but what they are actually doing is actually different. So, for example, my Vipassana teacher, when I met in Bangkok, and he follow Gohenka Vipassana. If you want to know what is Gohenka Vipassana meditation, you can actually go to Googling Gohenka Vipassana. Goenka. Goenka Vipassana. You can actually go to the YouTube where you can actually saw Goenka explain what is Vipassana, and they have a 1 week course. Okay, day one. This one. This is a recording. Goenka already passed away, but before he passed away, he explained what is Vipassana meditation. In YouTube, they actually put it there. He used 1 week course to explain Vipassana meditation. So I remember I enjoy watching Goenka's explanation of Vipassana together with my Burmese teacher, Goenka. Goenka Vipassana meditation. But nowadays there are some teachers, maybe Mahashi Sayadaw or Paok Sayadaw and Lemi Sayadaw and so on. There are many teachers. I can remember. And one of them was Goenka. And nowadays, Mahashi Vipassana is among the most popular in Myanmar. But outside of Myanmar, Goenka is very popular. Mainly because when Myanmar become independent from British rule, they choose kind of a Burmese Buddhist socialism, and they do not want to intervene from the outside influence. So they have a tight control over their borders. So people inside of Myanmar cannot go out. So there are many Vipassana teachers. They want to teach their meditation technique outside of Myanmar, but that's all prohibited. But Goenka was, I mean, the Nepalese. So he came back to Nepal and start to teach, Vipassana meditation in Nepal and India and Sri Lanka. So when I went to Sri Lanka, there are some many Goenka Vipassana followers. So I enjoy his teaching and his Vipassana is a kind of a typical modern Vipassana, if I say, Vipassana technique. Kind of a modern Vipassana technique. So Goenka Vipassana, if I explain to you very briefly, is this. Uh, when I go to Vipassana center in front of my house in Bangkok, for the first 1 week, he just teach me how to breathe. So whenever I go there, I have a I have my all intention at the end of my nose and just breathing out and breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, just to do it, not doing anything. And then my teacher, step by step asked me, while you are breathing in and out, can you feel something there at the tip of your nose? So at very first, I said to him that there are some movement of wind from inside of my body to outside of my body, and nothing else. And he said, keep continue. So I just keep continue. And then somehow I can have a sensation at the end of my nose. So whenever I do really have a concentration, I can have a feeling here. And then, after second week and third week, he asked me, try to have a sensation on your face, maybe your nose, your mouth, or your eye, and everywhere in your eye. Try to have a sensation. So what he means is while doing breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and out. First, I should have a sensation at the tip of my nose, and then I try to have a sensation maybe here and here and here, one by one. We just practice. You know, he asked me, "Have you got any sensation on your mouth?" Yes, and try to move it to your poor eye, and I try to move here, try to have a sensation, and so on. So I'm not sure I'm a good student or not, but I think for 1 month, almost 1 month, I just did this kind of breathing in and out meditation. And while doing it, try to have a sensation all over my face, all over my face. And then next 1 month, he asked me, try to have a sensation on your body. Try to have a sensation on your heart. Try to have a sensation on your neck maybe, or your arm, and your belly, and your thigh, and so on. We try to have a sensation all over my body. So in early Buddhism, the body we have is something we should abandon. Bodily sensation is useless according to early Buddhism. But modern Vipassana meditation technique, they use our body as a kind of a tool to realize something. Without it, very difficult. So I think almost 3 months, I didn't do anything, but only try to have a sensation all over my body. Nowadays, I can't do it. I can't do it. You need to practice. Nowadays, I can't do it. But during that time, if I'd like to have a sensation on my heart, somehow I can have a, dung, 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 kind of a heart beating feeling I can directly have. Sometimes I try to have a sensation at the tip of my nose. I can, I can have a feeling, something like that. So after 3 months of this kind of practice, my teacher for the first time said to me that try to remember the person you hate most. The person you hate most. So I hate my high school teacher in my third year. So I suddenly have a pace of my teacher in my third year. And as soon as I remember him, I have a feeling on my chest here. Something like that. Something like that. So my teacher said to me, instead of continue to think about your teacher, you should turn your attention not to that thinking, but to the part of your body which is reacting. So when I change my direction from there to my body, and I can have my bodily sensation. and my bodily sensation cannot last forever. As soon as I thought of my third grade teacher, I have a feeling here, but this feeling, step by step disappear. But somehow, when this bodily sensation step by step disappear, my hatred toward my third grade teacher disappear together, somehow, very easy one. And also he sometimes asked me, try to remember the one you love most. So I was thinking about my daughter. And then I feel, very nice feeling on my, how can I say, what is here, my cheekbone, I can have a feeling in my cheekbone. So he said, instead of keep thinking about your daughter, you should turn your attention to your cheekbone. Try to have a concentrate on your feeling on your cheekbone. So I changed it to here. And then this feeling step by step disappear, And then somehow in this kind of process, I feel like even though I, love my two daughters most, but my affection toward my two daughters step by step reduced. That's the kind of feeling. So, for example, if you are working, if you are working, if you are working, there is a car running, and you are walking on the pavement like that, and then suddenly these two car crash, something like that. You are not in danger because you are in the working way, but your body react something like that. You just shrink, It's a kind of your bodily reaction predetermined by outside the stimulation. So Goenka meditation, I have to say, use this kind of our bodily reaction as a tools to release our mental pain. So our body is programmed to react. So our thinking is separate. So our thinking, instead of going into that kind of good thought or bad thought, but turn that attention to our body, and then our body once shrinked, and then step by step release. With that kind of release, we can actually cure our mental problem. I mean, I'm not sure whether I explained to you correctly or not, but somehow during the post months, I try remember all the people I hate most, and then I try turn my attention not to that person but to my bodily reaction. And when my bodily reaction step by reduce, my hatred toward them disappear. And also, I remember something I like, a powerful computer. I can play a computer game. Oh, very nice car, Maserati. And I change my attention to my body. Then I can actually, overcome my passion toward it. So Dalai Lama, when he was asked from TV presenter that people asked him, how are you deal with your stress when you hear Chinese government make you kind of demon or make you kind of a evil person, make Tibetan people suffering? How you are dealing with it? And Dalai Lama actually said, I can turn all kind of hatred toward me inside of my body. I can change it into the happy reaction. So I always become happy. I always smile. I always give a happy answer instead of hatred and so on. So Dalai Lama said, I practice the Vipassana. With the Vipassana, I can change all kind of bad feelings, all kind of terrible word inside of my body, I can change it to the something positive, something positive. So that's the way, Vipassana usually do. So that's the modern Vipassana technique. I can't do it now, but, all the days I can have a sensation all over my body. I can just turn my attention to my body instead of thinking. So during the post months, I do Vipassana meditation just 1 hour a day, and I enjoy. And my teacher checking my progress, and he usually give me the response. And his response sometimes give me extreme happy. Yo, Dr. Huang, you progress a lot. So I asked him, how you evaluate meditation? How do you know I have a progress? And he usually said, according to the Visuddhimagga, you are in this stage. If you are continue to do that, you are going up to this stage, something like that. It's like English language skill. You are intermediate or you are advanced, something like that. So I enjoy doing Vipassana with him, actually, with my Burmese teacher during that time. So that's the Vipassana. With the knowledge, we overcome our, attachment and delusion. So with the knowledge, we overcome all the problem. So that's the way of wisdom under the name of Vipassana. But it is not easy. Here I show you number 7, the story of Mushilla and Narada in the early canon. So if you are checking the early canon, you can see the story. I just read it for you. The story of Mushilla and Narada. How can I move it? I should smart it. There is no way to achieve awakening of a cessation of suffering only through knowledge. In this story, even though I just said to you that the knowledge, triple knowledge of anicca, dukkha, anatta can remove all our attachment and defilement, but even within early Buddhist canon, knowledge itself cannot do everything. So this story, Mushilla and Narada, I just give you some kind of a drawing better. And there are 2 monks. One was called Mushilla and one was called Narada. Very knowledgeable monk. And both of the monk, according to Buddhism, they have a full of knowledge. They are full of knowledges. So one day, many young monks approached to them and asked, Venerable Mushilla and Venerable Narada, I heard that you are of full knowledge to become Arhat. Do you think you are Arhat? Are you okay with Arhat? Do you think you are full of knowledge? So are you an Arhat? Which means, with the knowledge, do you think you overcome all your desire and attachment? That's the question, actually. That's the question. So both of them, Mushilla and Narada, are said to be equipped with awakened knowledge. So when young people asked him, Mushilla accepted he is awakened. So with the knowledge, Mushilla declared that he is awakened one. While Narada denied it. I'm not awakened one. So to the Narada, monks gathered together asked him, why do you think you are not fully awakened? And Narada said, I am like a traveler in the desert, looking for the water for 1 week without drinking anything. I eager to drink. So that's the knowledge a Buddhist all wants to achieve. And one day he find out this deep well, very, very deep. And then he saw water there. He saw water there. And the Narada was can see there is a water deep down there. And he said, I'm just like that person. I have a knowledge. I know what kind of knowledge is required, but I do not have any tools through which I can actually take the water out of a deep well and drink it. So even though I have a knowledge, I'm not enough. Even though I have a knowledge, I'm not enough. I cannot drink. I cannot drink the water. So knowledge itself cannot work. For our all the problem we usually have. That's the story of this. Mushilla and Narada, and I always remember this. So this is biking. You can enjoy if you go to Lotte World or Everland, and I enjoy it. But around 10 years ago, I went to what is it? Gangchan area. Gangchan. So Gangchan is the place where many university students have a membership training during the weekend. So they drink a lot and enjoy. So everyone in Gangchon trained to have this kind of biking. Gangchon biking is very strong because usual customer are getting accustomed to normal biking. What I mean is that if you go to Lotte World or Everland, they use only around 70% of its full power. So even though you are sitting at the corner, it's not that strong. But if you go to Gangchon area, they use almost 99%. 99% of their power, So going up more, speed up more. So it's shung, shung, something like that. So almost 10 years ago, I was with my graduate student to go to Gangchon to have a one night drinking and kind of a membership training in Korea means drinking a lot. So we drink a lot and almost midnight, one of the students said to me that, Professor, we should go out and have a biking ride together. It's very exciting. So I said to him, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be in the biking. And all the students insisted me to go there. And so I decided to go out. And the owner of this biking introduced me to sit in the corner, not in the middle. If I was sitting in the middle, it's a lot better. But if I was in the corner, then I can go up all the way, almost to the top. So I was sitting at the corner. And then this one step by step moving, And that's a very dark, cold night, hardly any customer. And the owner knew we are the last customer. So he gave us 10 minutes. Usually, if you go to Lotte World, just 3 minutes, something like that. This is a 10-minute ride. And I was half drunken and very cold and sitting at the corner. So while I was sitting there, I knew the engineer who made this biking make this one very safe. So with my knowledge, I knew this is safe. I'm okay here. But one by one, this biking is moving, like that. I feel, strange feeling on my body and my body and my head, and I get stressed and so on. And after 2 minutes, I feel like I'm dying here. I'm dying here. I feel like, oh, this is a terrible moment. So the 10 minutes, I couldn't enjoy. I feel like I was almost dying there. That instance actually said to me that knowledge alone is not working if our mind is not that capable of dealing with it. If our mind is not that stable, steady past, we usually say, our mind is waving, moving like a kind of a disco drum. It cannot do it. This experience actually gave me the conclusion that, there are many things in the world, and the knowledge itself cannot solve the problem we are facing at. This one actually showed me. Just like Mushilla and Narada story. One of them, Mushilla, accepted. With his knowledge, he is free from all desire and attachment and become Arhat. But Narada said, no, I'm not. Here is it. Where is it? Even though he found the deep spring water, he cannot drink the water since there is no tool to reach there. The tool we need to reach there is a kind of a mind, capable of producing knowledge, kind of a mind capable of rejecting all the attachment and desire. The tool should be kind of a mind which is totally flat, like a lake. There is no more wave at all. So in early Buddhism, in many cases, we can see Buddhists aiming at achieving that kind of mind before they are actually using knowledge. So I think I will continue next week. But before I finish, I said to you that you may knew this lady, AungSanTsuji. Nowadays, she's slightly changing, but as far as I remember, she became house arrest since 1988. And house arrest, free from house arrest, and house arrest, one by one for almost 25 years. She was in house arrest. If ordinary people like us, if we are house arrest for 1 week, I think we all mad. we are almost mad. We can't endure just inside there. The feeling of my life contained in the house makes us almost impossible to endure. For example, this COVID-19 epidemic, pandemic, make people living alone with the social distancing, and some people, this is terrible, and they go to the Itaewon area and they got COVID-19 and so on. So not easy. But this lady Aung San Suu Kyi overcome almost 25 years of house arrest. And 3 or 4 years ago, when she visited Korea, I still remember her eye. It's a beautiful eye, full of power, full of willpower, full of knowledge. I can actually see. That's not the eye I can usually see from someone house arrest for 25 years. So many scholars wonder what could be the reason how she overcome this kind of 25-year house arrest. Aung San Suu Kyi usually said, I do practice Vipassana meditation during the morning. So the life is always suffering. So military government give us more suffering, but that's not the end of it. Our life is basically, full of suffering. I'd like to change the world. That's not easy because the world is ever changing. Her power is very little, compared with the ever changing the world and so on. With the Vipassana meditation and some kind of walking in and out and so on during the morning, for 2 hours or 3 hours, actually give her power to overcome. So Vipassana meditation, even though it cannot be the complete answer for overcome all our problems, but it actually show some kind of a way to deal with our stress, to deal with our problem. So that become reborn as a healing in the Western world. So the Oxford University, where I belong, we have a Sati Center or Mindful Center, where they are dealing with the people with the severe depression. Severe depression. Severe depression means people usually commit suicide within 6 months. Almost 60 or 70% of people who has got severe depressed commit suicide within 6 months. Almost 60 or 70%. So that's the people with the severe depression, 중증 우울증 환자, something like that. And in this Vipassana center in Oxford University, we had how can I say, examination, kind of experiment. So one group with a very simple Vipassana technique, the other group just do the same. So this simple Vipassana group, we didn't change a lot. We didn't mention Buddhism. We just said them, when you have a feeling of depression, try your attention to your body. If you become depressed, just concentrate on your heartbeat. Just concentrate on your, pace. So try to turn your attention to your body. Very simple technique we actually teach. And the other group just do it as it is. After 6 months, the group who didn't do any Vipassana meditation, 60% of suicide rate. The group with a simple Vipassana, only 30%, only 30%. So almost 40%, cured with this simple Vipassana meditation technique. So British government actually gave a lot of funding to this Vipassana center so that they carry on, teaching nurses from elderly home in the UK, gathered together in Oxford University. We teach very simple Vipassana technique. So when they go back and they teach simple Vipassana technique to the elderly, people in that elderly care home, so that, suicide rate will be reduced, something like that. So that's the Vipassana, modern healing, all start from here in the Vipassana meditation. So I feel a bit sad because when I was in Bangkok, I enjoy Vipassana meditation with my, Burmese teacher, and I am not really stressed with the university life. So I enjoy my life, and my all two daughter and my wife also free from all the stress from the school and friend and children and relatives, and we all become very happy. So now we are contained in our life in modern high-tech society of Seoul, and we feel we are very suffer. We are not satisfied with. So I always dreaming of going back to Bangkok and enjoy my, natural life again with some Vipassana meditation and try to make my life more happier, more happier with the meditation. So, but Vipassana give you some release, but it cannot be the total solution. So early Buddhists try to find out the other solution. So Vipassana itself is not enough. So I will explain the next one, mild meditation practice. So how to do it, I can explain to you next this Wednesday. So I stop here and I see you on Wednesday. Thanks. Okay.
감사합니다.